Good morning.
Hello.
We are live. Finally.
With Mama Tribe. Yes, yes, yes.
And yeah, technical difficulties this morning. And poor Monique, she's there on the phone over there at OG's house.
Oh, I hope no one saw her phone number. Well, Monique, if you start getting prank calls, you know who's to blame.
I know, right? You just posted me all over the internet.
Yeah, so, when we have our rehearsals and stuff, one of the things I always tell everyone is that Google is finicky, and I guess I should stop saying that because I'm pretty powerful. And
that is correct. We have to stop saying these things. I even stopped saying that I was technically challenged, but especially once I got in on the rehearsal and everything else, I was like, woohoo, I know how to do this.
That's showbiz for you, babe. It's like the rehearsal goes great, and then you've got the audience waiting for you, and bam.
Yeah. So,
Bam.
but we definitely want to, have a show where people can see your beautiful face and hear all of the information that you want to share, because it's really important to us. So I think that we've decided we're going to pick another day,
right,
to do this,
because the topic of I've been calling it bully proofing your kids.
I like that.
We're always bully proofing, and I think it's an invaluable topic. So I'm really looking forward to choosing another date and making sure that folks have your information and have some of these great techniques, because I cannot say enough how awesome I think it is and important. So thank you, Monique.
Thank you. And I can't wait to hear it.
I know, and you're so many other things besides, we're kind of focusing on the Echo Parenting Educator, but, the self-esteem, elevation coach, and, the reason why I know you is that you are a part of the Yogi Tree, which is my sister's yoga studio in LA. And so with that, you have so many things that you do. So there's just so much to talk about. We have to have you on again.
Sounds awesome. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to keep you on the phone if you would like to interject at any point, Monique. But
okay.
MJ and I are just going to run through a couple of announcements that we have today.
Sounds good.
And then we're going to get the flock off of the internet.
Okay.
It's obviously not our friend this morning.
I know. She's a capricious lover. Technology. She is.
I'm going to get to the bottom of it today. I got to figure this out.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's. I think I do need to start talking more positively about Google, though, because like I said, we're powerful. Our minds are powerful, and the thoughts we put out there, they become things.
Manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest.
So, you want to go first, OG, or do you want me to go first?
So we had also promoted that we were going to have Katy on with us today, but yay, things don't happen the way you plan. So I definitely want to talk about this, and I think I mentioned this last week, but again, this is something that I believe merits plenty of attention. And that is a bra drive is going on through the organization called Free the Girls. It's freethegirls.org. And this is an international organization that helps women who have been freed from human trafficking. So one of the things about human trafficking is that when women get out of it, they go through different rehabilitation processes and so forth. But one of the main issues is them being able to financially sustain themselves in a safe environment. And a lot of them don't have access to that kind of work. So with Free the Girls, you donate your gently worn bras. These are taken and spread across the globe to different countries and different women in need. The women fix them and sell them as secondhand clothing. And what's really awesome about this is that it's a safe environment. It's usually just woman to woman, so these girls don't have to put themselves in situations that harken back to the horrible experiences that they've had. So freethegirls.org, I believe Ms. MJ has the showcase up showing the link.
Yeah, if you guys are watching us live, you'll be able to see 3 little tags, little gold tags. If you click on that, then you'll be able to see first is the Mama Tribe Network YouTube page, but then below that should be the link that'll get you to the freethegirls.org. And then I also changed my lower third real quick just so you all could see that that's the website, freethegirls.org, so that that'll be on.
Thank you, MJ. And there's a drive going on in San Diego through the 24th of July. But check out the website. You could start a drive in your own city, or you could just go ahead and send in what you have. You know, we all have bras in the back of the drawer. Like I was telling MJ this morning, I was going through my bras and I'm like, you know, I'm going to try these on. And some of them are fitting again since I'm not nursing on demand. So I'm like, woohoo!
Yeah, it's amazing too. Like before baby, I used to wear all those underwire bras, and now I've worn sports bras for like the last 4 years. I could not even think about wearing an underwire bra. I think it would be so uncomfortable. Yep. So instead of, you know, having it thrown into something that I just go and donate to, like the AmVets, or, you know, if I have a garage sale in the near future, it'd probably go into that stack. But, you know, having it go to a place that is, oh my God,
you made it!
I tried a different account. I went away from my email account and I went to Yahoo. And I said, okay, I'm trying this.
It's Monique, everyone!
Oh my God.
We're all freaking out over here.
I'm going to figure this out. I don't know.
Yay!
Never give up. Never give up.
Never give up.
Amen.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yay!
Let me pull up.
Oh, hi, Monique.
What was that? Let me put my headset back in the computer.
Cool. Yay!
Now we're in business. Craziness.
My stash.
Love the mustache. Apparently, it no longer likes my Gmail account. That's fine.
Well, you know what I have to say to that? F you.
Right? Yeah. Yes.
F you.
My daughter and I have this inside joke. You know, in Kundalini Yoga, the middle finger signifies patience. So, there you go.
Sweet.
There you go.
That gives me more reason to keep using it.
Yeah, you're either asking the other people for patience or you have lost yours.
Exactly. I'm just pointing out how long my patience is. Okay, that's it.
I hear you. I hear you.
So awesome.
Okay, unbelievable.
So,
wow.
So MJ, tell us about Monique and why it is that we're so excited to have her here.
I will gladly do that. Well, I know Monique through my sister, like I said earlier, and we've enjoyed some pre-baby get-togethers together with welcoming my sister again into motherhood. So that's how I kind of have been around Monique, and she's just a wonderful joy to be around. And once we kind of got to know each other, then she reached out about this program that she's been doing and been certified in as an echo parenting educator. And you know, kids are obviously our life, but it's funny when you are a mom and your kids grow up, you all of a sudden, it's not just about just loving them and caring for them. You're setting them up on how to navigate this crazy, crazy world. And one of the things that Monique is doing is helping us have our kids, to teach our kids self-esteem. And in that, really, for me, we're also teaching ourselves how to do that. That's one of the things that I've really felt about motherhood for myself, is that I feel like I'm a lot nicer and a lot better of a person because I know I have a little one who's watching me all the time. And so now I'm really careful of the things that I say and the things that I do. And so this approach is really about self-esteem for, ourselves and our kids. And I know OG and I really felt that this is super important just on the aspect of loving yourself, but also knowing, when you're being bullied and how to deal with that as a child, because as we know, kids are not necessarily the nicest people sometimes. And
but where do they get that from?
Yeah, exactly.
Just really quickly before I hand the table or the floor to you, Monique, I think it's kind of poignant that we're promoting the Free the Girls organization today, and we're discussing how to bully-proof your child, because I really see that victimization it's kind of all-encompassing. Like if pedophiles and predators, if they see the smallest chink in your chain, they're going to grab you and take every opportunity, and then horrible things can happen. So if you can just give us a real quick, not necessarily real quick, because I do want to give this stuff the time it merits, but if you could talk to us about at least 3 of the points that we should be broaching with our children, I would be really pleased.
And definitely just talk about, too, how everyone can benefit from all of these points, what they do to get a hold of you, and how they can be a part of this program.
So change the world. Go. You're on.
Well, no, first thing I would say is that it really, like you mentioned earlier, MJ, it really has a great deal to do with what we are mirroring at home. But even though, as you very well stated, how much we love our children and how much we want to nurture them and protect them and keep them safe and what have you, the thing is I think that where we fail at times is in how we, I guess you would say, I don't like to use this word because eco-parenting is totally, we don't like to use the word discipline. It's really in how we teach our children. And in disciplining, a lot of times we can, as parents, withhold love from our children, and through punishment, through I'm not going to listen to you right now, or go to your room, or go sit in the naughty chair, and all these kinds of things that we've picked up along the way. These are little things that make our children feel unworthy and unloved in those moments. And then they make up different things in their own minds that are illusional, of course, but at the same time, we never had that intention, though it's what the child takes on. And so a lot of what I am teaching parents, as well as hopefully helping parents teach their children, is how to better our disciplinary ways of dealing with our children and dealing with them on a more respectful, a lot of people think that treating your child as an equal is making them feel like they are, what is the word I'm looking for?
Control or authoritative.
Yeah, like they are in control. But the thing is that in reality, we are all in control of our own selves. Parent is never going to be in control of the child. So there's this dominant paradigm.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, this dominant paradigm that we've grown up with. Most all of us have grown up with this dominant paradigm. I'm the parent and you're going to listen to me.
Yeah. Sorry.
You know, sorry, but when I don't want to listen, do I? When I don't want to hear something, do I? If I'm not ready for it, don't I just, I don't want to talk about it right now. You know, I mean, that's what we do. So what's so wrong with your child saying, I don't want to talk about it right now? Okay, well, when you're ready to talk about it, can we talk about it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's just respecting the aspect of what's going on in a given moment. And that alone lets your child know that your feelings matter. You matter. What you're feeling matters.
Yeah. And when it's like, when do we start that? You know, like that's the confusing thing for a lot of people is like, well, with their kids, you know, but that's when it starts. That, I mean, even before birth, like we were talking about the other day,
yes.
You know, this is not something that you pick a date. Okay, they're 6 years old. Now I'm going to start treating them different. No, this is from the beginning, knowing that
yes.
they matter. They cry. We tend to them. It doesn't matter, you know, it's just the way that it goes. That's the way that they communicate. If they communicate with us, we need to listen.
I'm so glad you said that, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is a big thing I talk about in Mommy and Me in prenatal class in regards to the moment a baby cries. What do? Most people, not you, of course, MJ, not me, but what do? The first thing we do is, shh, you want to quiet them. But why are you quieting me? I'm crying for a reason. I have something to say.
Right.
Hear me. Let me know you hear me. You know? And
totally.
It's better than to, shh, it's better to say, sweetie, I hear you. Are you hungry? You know, what's the matter, honey? I hear you.
Yeah.
Just that from the beginning is teaching your child your voice is important. What you have to say is very valuable, even if it's a cry.
Yeah. Totally.
And some people think, you know, a crying baby's not a good baby. Oh, I have a good baby. She doesn't cry very much. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah. And, you know, that's funny because that's something I have never thought that I would ever say so much in my life, but I've said it since he was born. I hear you. I hear you. I'm in the kitchen and I've set him down for a moment to do something because normally when he was little, I just wore him all the time, and even if he was crying on me, I hear you. And now, as you know, he's talking about everything all the time, all day long talking, and that's constantly what I'm still saying. Is, and you know, especially when now he's able to express his feelings, it's really very cool, and I love it. And when he says, you know, it's hard to wait, or you know, I'm frustrated, and that's what I say. I hear you. I hear you.
I hear you. We say that a lot to Cash too. I want to go this way. I hear you. We just need to go this way. This is the way to go home. Home is that way, so we gotta go this way.
Yes, yes. And it's not to say that it can't be challenging. I mean, we're not always going to be on the same page with our kids. I mean, they have their opinions, you know, and they don't always jive with ours. Yeah. But just to say, like you said, I hear you.
Yeah.
And what you have to say is very valuable, and I get how you feel, and I understand you feel that way, and I'm sorry that this is where we have to go right now, or this is what we have to do right now, or we're still running late, honey, or whatever the case may be.
It doesn't mean that we don't have boundaries with our kids either, because we treat them like, you know, like a human being, like a little person. And you know, I think that's one of the misconceptions about the type of parenting that a lot of people are moving towards these days, is that, you know, that our kids are controlling us, and that, you know, they're not able to that they're ruling everything that we want to do. No, I can definitely say no to my child. I can tell him, I'm so sorry, we can't do that. You know, there's lots of things. I really like the yes diet too. You know, it's like there's things that, like, if he wants to do something one more time, like, I have to really think, is this really a big deal? You know, and gosh, it makes him so happy. But you know what? When we can't do that thing one more time, it's not a problem, because he knows that he trusts me, and he understands that I'm telling him the truth, that I'm so sorry, we can't. There's times that we can, but there's times that we can't. So there are boundaries.
Well, I think that what you're saying is exactly correct. The whole thing is that children just want to feel safe and know that they're safe. And like you just stated, you know, trust comes with safety. And knowing that I'm safe in my mama's arms, knowing that I'm safe with what she has planned for me or what is going on today or what's happening, they can get with that. If we tend to give them a space of feeling unsafe, like, you know, go to your room. Room is supposed to be their safe haven, not like their naughty spot. You know, that's supposed to be like my spot to go to for peace of mind, you know, not for you to not hear me crying, not for you to not hear me scream and kick. I can be with you while you're screaming and kicking, sweetie. You know, get it out of your system. I see you need that right now.
Yeah.
I get it, you know, and it's like let them do what they, when we have, hey, when this stuff wasn't working today, I was losing it. Yeah, I had a few moments where I cursed a little bit. But, you know, at that same time, yes, I had to stop. I had to take some deep breaths. But in doing that, you are going to emulate something for your children. You're going to say, yes, mommy gets frustrated, but look what I do when I get frustrated. I stop, I take a beat, and I breathe. Yeah, that's what I do.
I just want to try and make this succinctly. So one of the steps is that you're saying that we have to ensure our children understand that their emotions are valid, and we have to give them the opportunity and the tools to express those emotions.
That's absolutely correct. Conveying validation and acceptance in every way, letting them know when they're doing things right, letting them know when they're doing something that is a gift that they have, letting them, you know, acknowledging all of these things that they do correctly, and getting to a space in which that builds them up. It's like at Zuri's school where she goes, CWC charter school where she goes to school, they teach them to give put-ups to each other. They call it put-ups. You know, give each other put-ups on a regular basis. Even jot down how many put-ups did I give you today? Or how many put-ups, you know, can we give each other today? You know, even as parent and child.
So I have a question then about that. So how do you draw the line then for, because, you know, they're saying with millennials that that kids are so praise oriented now, that without that praise or without a constant feedback, they don't feel satisfaction. They don't feel self-worth. So how do we play with that line?
Well, I think it's very interesting you bring that up, because it's in how we do it. For instance, a child could be playing on the floor with some blocks, and oh, look, you're playing so well, or hey, look, you stacked those up so nicely, or whatever. That's not as important as I like the way I see you enjoying your blocks, or it's in how, it's not like praise per se as it is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement and praise there's a fine line, but there's a difference between the two. I would have to say that it's not trying to find a good analogy to give you.
I think that's really good though, acknowledging. So it's kind of like that sports casting, right? Where instead of saying good job, you say, wow, I see you're having fun with your blog.
There you go. You're acknowledging it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You're not saying, oh, good job to everything. Oh, that's not necessary. I don't think that good job is important to say. It's, you know, oh, wow, sweetheart, I see that you have found some books that you really like. That's fantastic. Yeah. You know, it's encouraging them to read. It's not like you want to constantly give those things, and you want to underlie those things that you want them to become better at. You want to also encourage the things that they already are really, you know, enhancing in. And in doing this, we were talking about the bullying, and you wanted me, OG, to mention the bullying aspect. The whole thing is that people who bully always appear to our children, or even to ourselves, as being confident children, but they too are the ones that are most affected in having that diminished self-esteem. Yeah. And that's usually from what they get at home or what they get in other areas of their lives. It could be at preschool, it could be a teacher, it could be, you know, it could be many, many things. It could be someone just said, you're ugly, or, you know, you don't have any friends, or nobody likes you. I mean, one little line is what does it. You know, it can be anything. And the moment someone does that, you know, you're just such a bad child, or you just don't do anything right, or what the hell's wrong with you? Any of these things can affect a child's idea of himself. And the moment that that happens, they make up, who knows what they make up, but they make up all sorts of ideas in their minds, usually between firstborn to 6 years old. We all have done that. And the moment that we are insecure at any area of our lives, you know, it could be that we are the most confident individuals, yet there's just one little thing, like in regards to maybe it's relationships, that they just never, you know, just never had a good relationship, or whatever the case. That little thing will just diminish so many other aspects of our lives. Yeah, and that's just what happens.
It's the domino effect.
Yes, yes. And that's in everyone's lives. That's in any and everything. They say that there's about 85% of adults that are affected by low self-esteem. So why not get them when they're young?
So let's just kind of like go through a scenario.
Yes.
Because I'm very pragmatic, so I kind of like need
Love it.
Okay. So, you know, the kids are playing at the park, you know, 3- and 4-year-olds, so they're still very young. They have issues with sharing. And a kid starts to force himself upon our child. So little boy X wants what little boy B has.
Okay.
And little boy X is getting very handsy and pushy. How do we teach our kids, little boy B, to deal with that situation? What do we say to them?
Well, number one, you want to observe, and we're observing this child obviously wants that toy. So start off by acknowledging that. I see that you really would like to play with that. And number one, I heard you say issues with sharing. The thing is that if you have something that you don't want to share, should you have to?
Oh, no, I agree with you, but I'm just saying.
No, of course. So that's the thing is, you know, it looks like little boy X doesn't really feel like playing, you know, sharing that with you right now. And I know that that's really difficult to understand. You know, it's a conversation in which, how would, you know, it's like empathize with that child.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I guess we need to do role playing with our kids.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because I always look at it from this point. I am not going to be there.
Always. Exactly.
Every time my kid gets harassed. So he needs to be able to figure something out on his own. Because we all had those moments in school.
Absolutely.
We all had them. And, you know, we may or may not have responded adequately in order to either save ourselves from a beating or a humiliation. And God knows that's what we want to keep our children safe from. So I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, okay, this is where role playing comes in. We have to teach them how to respond instead of responding for them.
Yeah.
I love that you said that. Did you have something, MJ? Sorry.
Oh no, I totally agree. I mean, you know, I think it's just the focus on feelings, you know, like I see, like you say, I see that you want that. Yeah, it's really hard to wait, but also too communicating. I mean, that's getting to be able to communicate, you know, like when you're talking about OG that you're not going to always be there, then, you know, I would take, you know, Jay aside and I would say, so did you ask him to have a turn when he's done? No. Okay, well, let's start there and ask him for a turn. And then come back and he doesn't want to give me a turn. Well, how does that feel? You know, so like
exactly.
Okay.
Yes. That's precisely what we're doing here. Is, like you said, giving them tools and learning how in the future to deal with certain things. It's not always going to feel good. It's not always going to work out the way you want it to or how you plan it for it to. At the same time, you will be better equipped on how to regulate and how to deal in the situation. It's so funny that OG mentioned role playing. My daughter and I were in the car one day. If you don't mind, I'll share the story.
Yeah.
And there was a situation at her school. Her school is connected to another school that isn't a charter school, and so there are upper grade, classmates in that school, and she had to use that restroom. And so there were some little girls in there. Apparently they were way bigger than her, and they decided to bully in this moment. So my daughter got back to the classroom, and she told no one. But when we got in the car, she had shared this with me. And I was like, what the heck happened? I'm like losing it, and she couldn't remember the kids' faces, what they looked like, whatever. But the bottom line is we talked about it in the car, and it was funny because there was also these little boys that would be in line with her that were in her classroom that would talk about her, or just, I don't know, like, I forget what they would just say mean things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so bottom line is that we bantered back and forth with her in the back seat. She would say some of the things that they would say to her. And so I'm teaching her how to respond. So I said to her, number one, you don't want to ever give your power away. You have the utmost power, okay? And the moment that you allow what someone else says about you to affect you in the way that you feel like you have to even respond to it, like, why even give it any energy?
Yeah.
Like, why? Who cares? That's what you think. I don't care what you. Did I even ask you what you thought? So it's like having this whole conversation. So it was funny. So back and forth, she said something to me, and I just sat there very quiet. And she's like, Mommy, I said it. I said, I know. And I just sat there. And then she was like, oh, and then she's okay, you do it. So the whole thing is I said what the little boys said or whichever. And she responded by just not saying anything. And there's power in silence. There's a lot of power in silence, and that was something that I taught her. And that, when the moment you fuel it with like, oh, don't say that, and oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
It just diffuses everything. That's just one way in which that particular situation, I'm not saying to always be silent. I mean, hey, we've got to tell teachers, we've got to talk about it, we've got to,
You have to defend yourself also, and that's that's something that I have I will never apologize for making sure that my child can physically defend himself.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
And children,
I don't like violence, but hey, if somebody's hitting me, I'm gonna hit you harder. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, children don't grasp that hitting somebody or throwing something at somebody could be fatal. So it's not just pretend. It's not
exactly. It's not cartoons. It's not like in the movies.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I think is really important with bully-proofing our children is reminding them that it's their responsibility to stand up for somebody who is being bullied.
That's a big deal. Big deal.
Spectators or bystanders are just as responsible as the person being bullied.
Yes. Yes. Somebody's got to take a stand. Somebody's got to say something or run and get help or whichever. Don't just stand there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that sense, too, with
power away.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's part of giving power away.
Yes. Yes. That's part of giving power away. Absolutely. You're acting as though you're helpless in the situation.
Yeah. I was going to say in that giving power to the situation, too, one of the things that we've done with Jay lately is we've been trying to explain to him that, when he's hitting us or when he's, kicking us or doing something that we don't like and we're telling him that we don't like it, he might come across somebody who's not going to tell him that they don't like it. They're just going to hit him back.
Yeah.
Or they're going to kick him back. So we're trying to help him to understand that using your words and letting somebody know that you're frustrated about something is going to be a better way to do it, obviously, with us and also out there on your own. If you hit or kick a friend, then they might just hit or kick you back. They're not going to talk to you like mommy or daddy does.
Right.
Yeah, and also too, like we've dealt with some words lately that we don't necessarily like you know, stupid and shut up and some things like that. And so instead of like, oh God, you know, I don't want you to say that, I don't want you to do that, you know, we've been not giving it a lot of power and just like, we don't say that, we don't do that, and just moving on, like just don't give it that
I think
much.
that they catch on. That's the whole thing, is they catch on. Very early on, the word stupid was a bad word in our house, very, very early on. My daughter was out with her grandma and her grandma's friend, and they were chatting about something. I don't even know what. And I guess the word stupid came up, and Zuri was like, my mommy says that that's a bad word. It was very funny, and they just were like, oh, oops, you know, like. And it's funny because, like you say, MJ, it does make you watch how you communicate.
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about someone, you got to be careful about that, too. You don't want to make your children these types of people who are, you know, condemning others, you know. You don't want to do that. So you really got to watch your P's and Q's, and it does make you better people. I think that having children really reminds us of who we are and what we're really about. Yeah. And that unconditional love is the number one. It's the first week of my series of helping the 7 principles of, you know, building the self-esteem in children. And it's the number one thing because it's the number one lineage through everything is love. Love is the primary thing. If we can just teach only love in every aspect of our being, it teaches giving, it teaches gratitude, it teaches so many things. Yeah, if you just really if you ground yourself in love, you teach so much. And so it's finding that love space and working your heart center, as we do in yoga. You really create that openness of love, and you start to recognize when you're not coming from love. And when you don't come from love with your child, the thing is that you then have to go back and mend that. You have to recognize you've made a mistake. You have to say to your child, look, you know, mommy was really wrong about yelling at you, or really wrong about coming from this direction, and this is what I meant to say, and this is what my intention was. I did not mean to hurt you in any way, and I'm sorry that if my words hurt you. You know, you've got to communicate, like you said. I mean, it's really about communication. The more you do your communication in a loving manner, the more you're teaching your children how to communicate to you from love.
There's a full circle there. You know, you don't just stop at you making a mistake. You have to amend the mistake. You have to say how you would do it better. You know, you've got, and in doing that, that's what you need to do as a person, but you're teaching your child, like you say, exactly. You know, here's what happens. It's okay to make a mistake, because for so long, I would beat myself up for doing things wrong, for not being perfect. And then once I realized that, holy crap, I do not want to teach my child to be perfect at everything.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. So I know I want to make sure, Monique, that you share with how people can get in touch with you and how they can benefit from this course, because I know that you're doing this course, but how can people be a part of it if they want to learn these things?
Well, one of the things that I'm doing is I would love to offer a complimentary strategy breakthrough session with me. For anyone who's on this call, and that would be to just go to Monique, Monique, K, just the initial K, Chambers, CHAMBERS.com. I'm sorry, at gmail.com. Okay. Monique K Chambers at gmail.com, and put into the subject matter breakthrough strategy with Monique, and I would be glad to get back to you. And once you send the email, I will send you a little questionnaire, and that questionnaire will help us do our strategy session. The strategy session will be anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, usually a value of like $150 per hour is what I usually charge for one-on-ones that come to me, by the way. If I come to you, that's a different charge. So anyway, this is a complimentary thing that I'd like to offer to anyone who's on the call. My course is it's an 8-week course that takes place at my home. As of now, it's on Mondays, starting July 13th through August 31st. and it's from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., and it's going to be $240 for an individual, $300 for couples. And it's just a really great opportunity to come together either as parents or as the mom or the dad, whomever would like to join. And even if you'd like to drop in or the hubby would like to drop in, we can make arrangements for that. And because I know not everyone can come every day all the time. And that's an opportunity in which we go through role playing. We go through techniques and tools and ways of playfulness and being more playful with your child and finding ways to ground yourself and root yourself in that confidence of parenting and finding ways in which you can just better and up your parent credential.
Awesome.
And that's what I do, yes.
So let's say, for the sake of argument, for families or folks that aren't in the LA area, would you be able to give them consultations like this via Google Hangout or Skype?
Absolutely. Not to mention that if they even had friends that they felt could also benefit from it, I would come to San Diego if you would like to host it at your home. There's ways in which we've done that as well. So
somebody who's like in Wisconsin right now, you're not going to fly to Wisconsin for a 8-week course, but maybe you can talk to them like this via the internet.
Yes.
And that type of counseling.
Absolutely. I've done online coaching as well as Skyping. I've never done Hangout. This is my first Hangout, but I will be utilizing it once I figure out how the heck to use it.
It's a fabulous tool. So thank you so much for taking the time, and sorry about the frustration with technology. She's a fickle lover, that technology girl.
Yes.
And I know that we want to probably have you on, another time too, because there's so much to talk about on this these 7 points of self-esteem, this series that you're doing. So I think that it's worth it to have you on again, and maybe
I would love that. Thank you.
I think we could probably choose a few dates and then just hit 1 point each day.
That sounds great.
Yeah, because this is always the way that it goes. We just get talking, and we just things just start coming, and so we haven't touched on a lot, and so it seems like it would be best to touch on a few of the other points at another time, so we have more time, definitely.
I would love that. It's my favorite subject.
Yay!
Awesome.
So before we get off, MJ and I have one more thing that we have to promote. That is physically and literally very near and dear to our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And
most definitely
is the Normalize Breastfeeding Day. Do you want to talk about that, Em?
I do. So this Saturday, June the 27th, this is not only my son's 4th birthday, but this is going to be International Day to Normalize Breastfeeding. And like OG said, it's totally near and dear to our hearts. We're still nursing full term our children, and we've seen the backlash to moms that are nursing newborns to children, and it's just crazy. So we are so in support of this because it really is what we want. We just want to normalize breastfeeding. We just want it to be what it is, and nothing more that everyone out there and all the crazies on the internet make it to seem. It is a day that hopefully, because it's getting the help me out, OG. Thank you. Woohoo! Recognition that it's getting. Hopefully, it's going to do what the day is saying. Just normalize it. It shouldn't be anything more than what it is. We're nourishing our babies. We're bonding with our babies. We're caring for our babies.
You're helping give them self-esteem.
And giving them self-esteem.
Add in on your status and your social media, the hashtag normalize breastfeeding. Google it, tweet it, just spam everybody with it. that's this Saturday is the day that we're marking it on our calendars.
Awesome.
But remember that this is just an opportunity to acknowledge it. This is something that we need to do every single day, which is normalize breastfeeding.
Yes, and we've got to say, too, I'm going to put up the website, normalizebreastfeeding.org. So Vanessa Simmons is the force behind this. She has put this website together. She has been the backbone to this this whole organization, and it's just blown up. And you know, I know that she's just running the show. She has some help, I know, but she's really doing this all herself. And she's a photographer, and she's done tons of breastfeeding nursing sessions, which, oh my gosh, I would love to do. And I know she's talked to me about it, and but it's something that she does. So if you ever want to get in touch with her, this is her website, normalizebreastfeeding.org. And she's on Google. She's doing tons of hangouts right now. She's on Facebook, of course, and then she's got her website. So we are going to be there this weekend on Saturday from 4 to 5. We're going to hang out at the event. OG is going to be there. I'm going to be at home because we have to be, one of the computers has to be at home on a landline in order to make this happen. But we're going to be there to be able to show you what the San Diego event is all about. But this is an international day for normalizing breastfeeding. So
very exciting, very exciting. And then one last thing that I wanted to talk about, which I find is really important, is the fact that during summertime, a lot of school-age children go hungry, and that's because they only get their meals at school. So if you go to the San Diego Unified School District website, I believe MJ has that site also saved, you can get a list of where the San Diego School District will be offering free lunches to children throughout the summer. So I know that in our neighborhood it's at our public library, but there are just a ton of different locations where if you know somebody in need or you are in need, you can make sure that your children are fed. And, I just think it's really, really important that we remember that that some people go hungry every single day.
Yeah, if you want to, if you're on the Hangout right now, you can bring up that Showcase app, and the website is on that sidebar that'll come up when you bring up the Showcase app. It's the 3 golden tabs. But the website's sandy.net, so SANDI.net, but it's there if you want to click on it right now.
Yeah, and that way, like I said, you can share it, you can share the knowledge, and even if you won't use it yourself, there may be somebody in your social media network that could either pass the information on or use it themselves, and we just want to feed all the babies.
Yes. Any way we can.
Yes. So,
all right.
Thank you so much, ladies. This has been a very enriching morning.
Yes.
Chatting with you. So thank you for your time, and
thank you.
We'll see you very soon. MJ?
Yeah, definitely. Monique will be in touch about some other dates, and hope to have you on again real soon so we can chat more about everything that you're doing, and it'll be awesome. I know.
Look forward to it.
And just, sorry, again, I forgot to say, so check in your local areas. If you do community resources, you can see in your areas where there are free lunches for kids during the summer, too. So it's not just a San Diego thing. It's a national thing. So check it out.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what I forgot to say, too, was that the event this weekend, I think it starts around 3:30, and it's in La Jolla, the San Diego event to normalize breastfeeding. It's at Kellogg Park in La Jolla. That's at La Jolla Shores. I know that they'll have lots of stuff going on at the event, and we'll be there to show you if you cannot be there.
Yay! So
yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, so I'm going to hit the stop broadcast and we'll be done, but Monique, if you can hang on for a second, we'll go back into the green room and we'll chat after the show.
Sounds great.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.